Welcome, my friends, to the most glorious unboxing of GMT games I have ever known. This is a mega cleansing of unboxing goodness. This is the creme de la creme, because usually GMT games come in the form of one, maybe two at a time, but this time I have five, verily I say five, although with a caveat, games to unbox for you today. Four of which shall thusly be unopened, and the last one, well, we'll get into that later. But let's begin, shall we, with People Power. People Power is the coin game of insurgency in the Philippines from 1981 to 1986. I have some vested interest not only in learning this system, but also hearing from people who actually live in the Philippines who can speak about it and speak to how well it represents that time period in their eyes. Then we have the Barracks Emperors. This is Time of Crisis was a game that I really enjoyed. Very unique. Definitely took a while to play. Lots going on, but really enjoyed it. And this isn't kind of a bit orthogonal as far as what it does, in that it's not representing, it's no update to it. It's its own strategy game in its own right. It's got square cards, which normally aren't my favorite, but hey, I'm willing to give it a try, especially since it's got this nice checker map. Like, king me. We'll learn about that later. Not to be outdone, we have Border Reivers, Don't Fear the Reaver, done by Ed Beach, who's known for a variety of other games, which I have enjoyed in the past. And so we're going to take a look at this one. This is quite stylish. Yes, this one's Henry VIII ascending the throne, and then dealing with situations going on there. I was drawn to the art style. Get it? Drawn to the art style. But we're going to deal with that. We'll deal with my humor in its own good time. In the meantime, this is a 1 to 6 player game. Again, 2 to 4 hours. It looks unique. It looks like a very unique system, not one that fits into their current lineup of different lineups. Not to be outdone, we have The American Presidency, Mr. President, a game that has been looked on for many years. For years. I have sought this out for years and waited for it, and it has taken a long time to gestate and come to the fruition that it has, but it looks glorious. I've already preemptively watched many things. Again, this is not about any particular president. It's about taking on the role of the presidency and all of the things that one must manage in the role of the American president. That in itself, it doesn't, again, it's generally speaking apolitical. So unlike other games I played that I've enjoyed, that did delve more into a political figure, this one is all about, well, basically, you just sit down and you're in the cockpit. Let's see how you can drive America into the ground or into the skies. And finally, we have, yes, that's right. Whoa, I'm seeing double. I wanted the game so badly I ended up backing it twice just to try and get the numbers up. But I didn't need to, because so many thousands of copies were already set up. But I don't know what I'll do with this one. I'll probably keep it around, maybe either sell it someday or maybe even do a giveaway, because that would be an amazing thing to do a giveaway on this sucker. So anyway, that's the 5, but really 4 games that we have. Now let's open each one and take a gander. Okay, 1, People Power, Insurgency in the Philippines. This is done, a game designed by Kenneth T. I have not heard if he's done, if this is his first foray or not, I don't know, but some of these figures and pictures here are very iconic. Imelda Marcos, I remember doing an article back in high school on the Marcoses and kind of reading up on them. Here's the typical, well, the playbook comes first, but really, what about the rules? Here's the rules of play. This is the your standard coin fare. You're going to see some, yep, you got the factions being represented: terror, protest, striking. So far it looks like they've taken the standard coin approach and just applied it in great ways to this particular region. It looks like it's 3 factions. 3 factions, we'll read about that. Card-based non-player reference rules and reference. Ooh, well, that's interesting. Introduction and components. The government reformers and the NPA. Move priorities. This must be for the solo situation. Okay. And then, of course, one of my favorites is the card. Oh, example of play. Of course, need that. And then usually in the back they have a card breakdown of all the different cards and what they represent. Yeah. Oh, and design notes. Nice. Nice. All right, Joe Dewhurst doing the design notes, or the system design notes. He's been definitely busy these days. All right, and then the playbook, which gives you everything. Oh, and there we go. There's the, wow, the Baton nuclear power plant. True story. My uncle was barely missed being on the death march in Baton. He was able to leave before he ended up having to be part of that, and we are grateful because that was a good thing. And then the component quantities, look, it's surprised. Look at that, a small amount of components for a hefty game. Ooh. And we have the, okay, this is starting to look, the government with their bases, the NPA, and the reformers. Okay, effective events. Wow, move priorities. Oh yeah, for the Bonifacio. Someone tell me how to pronounce it. Reformers, Reforma, NPA, and government. And the election round. Okay, so far I'm seeing good things here. And then we have the map. This is okay. So this is the more. No, it's about right. Let's take a look at that map here. All right, and this is a portion of the Philippines. There we go. Down here, and up. Yep, I'm seeing lots of familiar coinage. And then, of course, the coin. I like the colors. The colors are different than, I think, any other coin game thus far, isn't it? And the cards. Ooh. Loans conditioned on economic reforms. Reformers. Wow, okay. Well, there you have it. That is people power for you. It's going to be, I suspect, something I'm going to play a lot of once I get rolling into it. I'm not sure which one of these I should pick first. Someone vote for me. Someone tell me what to do. My inclination or my suspicion is that I'll probably dive into Mr. President. But in the meantime, people power is there for us, and I'm excited to give it a try. Let's get on to the next game. Alright, let's take a look at the Barracks Emperors, a card game set during the time of crises. Are you a Libra? No, I'm a crisis. Alright, let's open it up. Again, Brad Johnson and Ray Farrell, who did the original Time of Crisis. So we open it up, and the first thing we have is the rules of play. The rules of play are very small. Look at that, not very sizable at all. Game setup. Alright, I'm seeing like historical summoner wars, maybe? Who knows? Special abilities, resolving emperors, flanking maneuver. This looks very clever thus far. I'm curious to see how it pans out, especially with the square cards. Again, not necessarily. Ooh, and solo rules, variations. I'm seeing sometimes games that look unusual wind up being surprisingly rich in cleverness. I remain dutifully curious. Wow, is this board bigger than the board for people power? It's thicker. It's a heck of a lot thicker. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. Holy smokes. Yes, it is. Look at this sucker. This is larger than a coin game. And it's almost like they took the background for Time of Crises, the game, and put it in, interposed it almost, but not quite. Look at that. Oh yes, it's the Great. Emperors, Barbarians, Pretenders, Draw Deck, 8 or less. I have no idea how this game plays, and so I'm very curious how it's going to wind up. Ooh, I remember these. This is familiar from Time of Crisis. Then we have Roma. Well, if you want to. If a barbarian is placed in Roma, the game immediately ends. Oh, so you don't want any barbarians at that gate. And then we've got the Emperor cards. Maximinus Thrax. Alright. Assassinated by the Praetorian Guard. That seems to be a running trend. Influence peddling. Alright. Artwork's cool. I really like that. Let's take a look at that artwork. Yeah. Loving it so far. And that's all that comes in this game, Barracks Emperors, and I have this feeling that this game may be sufficiently unique in its own right to stand out. I've been surprised by cleverness. What is the most clever GMT game? I'll have to think on that one. Definitely up for ideas on that. What do you guys think is the most clever of the games, or the game systems? All right, now we're on to Border Reivers. All right, Border Reivers, game designed by Ed Beach. Again, I've known him for some of his games. I'm trying to think of what the last one I played was. Was it 1819? 1918? Anyway, we have, first off, a solo rulebook. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's start with the glorified power of one. Ooh. I can see goodness and gracious. Good gracious. Multiplayer rulebook. Okay. So I'm a personal fan of that, where you separate the solo and the multiplayer into completely different facets as long as you're not having to cross-reference them. And so this makes me happy. I like that approach personally. I know not everyone does. Historical booklet. This is one of my favorite parts of... Whoa. Definitely one of my favorite parts of GMT games is learning deeply about material that I know only scantily. Woo, look at that. Then we have attack dice and attack rolls, not to be confused with cinnamon rolls, or, attack rolls, defense rolls. Just follow the rolls and we'll all get along. 1, 2, 3, wow. All right, and then we have Fenwick and okay, we have different sheets representing different groups. Assumedly, I'll know more once I actually read the thing. I don't see differences yet. They look about the same, so... Alright, so we have these sheetlings. Woo! Oh, look at that. Okay, Victory Track. That is a different art style, for certain. That is very different art style. And is this the first game that actually has cattle that's not just represented by a cube? Look at that. Cattle. And assumedly dice of some sort. Wow. This is a very esoteric group of counters. I'm liking it. I'm going to have to actually pay attention to these. Attack, rally, Thorwall Castle. There's something going on here. Okay, and then we get oh, I love it. A mounted map. Mounted map, my friends. Let's take a look at what comes in. Okay, so this map looks like it's about the same size as Border Reivers. It comes in the Barracks Emperors. Of course it's about the size of the map that comes in Border Reivers. That's very logical, Royal. Okay. Alright, and... Woof. Look at that. Look at that. Wow. I'm drawn to the art. I said that before, but this time I'm not kidding. I'm very much drawn to the art style. It's different. Is there any other game GMTs that's kind of like this one? Not that I'm totally aware of. Really liking it. Scottish East March, Middlemarch. There's a lot to take in here on this map. Not only that, but you get... wow. Hey. Okay, not only do you get the tokens, you also get actual real brown cattle. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Liking that. Woo. Liking that. Alright, then we have traits. What are these traits? +1 wild card. Target any march for it. Alright. Interesting. This is... Yeah, I'm really liking this, the uniqueness. All of these games, other than People Power, are different systems. They look like they're introduction of different systems than we've had before. But I don't mind the familiarity with People Power either. I'll be able to get into that game faster. Thomas Carleton. Wow. Alright. And last but not least, turn 3. Kinmont Woode. And his cousin Steamboat. Alright. Well, that's what comes in Border Reivers. And I'm excited for that. And then we have one final unboxing. Let's get into that one now. Alright, and finally, the creme de la creme. A game so cool I have 2 copies of it, for no clear apparent reason other than my zest and zeal to get this to me. And today is a market day. I think this should be a holiday. Should be the real President's Day. The American presidency, 2001 to 2020. Is that the period of time that the presidency here takes place, or is that how long it took to actually get this thing to me? I'm kidding. Anyway, this is done by Gene Billingsley, who is the epicenter of GMT games. Notice the G. And so yeah, let's just roll in and get opening this to my successor. Okay, I don't want to read that because I don't want to spoil it for people. But this appears to be a kind of a mimicking of the president handoff. And so I'm going to, it doesn't look like there's anything to, other than to say, hey, here's how you should learn to play the game, which I think is fair, given the complexity that I've seen in online reviews. All right, so we have the turn sequence flip book. Wow. And that means we are going to be going through this a lot. And this is not a 30-minute game, just like the presidency isn't a 30-day game, except for one of them. And then, yeah, wear your coat, kids. All right, and then we have the how to play. Okay, how to play. Go through the turn sequence flipbook. Anyway, this really does give you a first. Okay, it's kind of like, okay, look, this is how the high-level view works. Now get into it. The governing manual, but I'm not governor. Governing manual. Wow, look at all these. Like book after book. This is almost like a role-playing kind of thing. It feels almost like a role-playing game. I'm just like, let's roll your character. Okay. Wisdom. Crap. A 1. Anyway, so then pass legislation. Oh, there's a lot. Whoa. So many things to have to track and juggle at the same time. It's almost like it's showing you how difficult it is to be a world leader on the national stage without resorting to just flat out telling people what to do with an iron fist. Domestic charts. All right. So who hit number 1 on the domestic chart today? Wow. Dang. So many charts. And then world charts. Okay, so forget home. What's going on in the world? Oh my gosh. I'm going to be reading. This is like, I've read novels that were shorter than this. Ally and rogue states. Okay. All right. Go rogue or go brogue. All right. UK, Japan. Wait a minute. Oh, ally. Okay. Like, pretty sure Japan shouldn't be a rogue state to us, but anyway. All right. Got it. Allies to world peer. Russia acts. I'm just going to go through this. I don't want to give it away. World peer. China acts. Presidential briefing. Examples of. Okay, good. This is the playbook, or the equivalent of the playbook. Ooh. There's 2 golden rules? Wow. Wow. Dang. Know your capabilities. Okay. Ooh. And then a general example of play, which I'm appreciating. I've seen some of these coming up online. Oh, so much going on. I can tell why this took so long to ferment and become what it's scenarios. Oh, interesting. Scenarios. So all scenarios. Oh, sandbox scenario. Oh, and then it actually puts you in particular situations and says, how would you do? How would you do? Wow. All right. 216. For Americans, nothing is impossible. That is correct. All right. And then, oh my gosh, five things of counters. I've got some organizational work ahead of me tonight. 2, 3, 4. Tensions. Apparently there's a high quantity of them. 5. All right. Then we have domestic master actions, presidential master actions. Holy smokes. Military master actions, diplomatic master actions. Wow. Is that... Okay. Terror group holding area. War. Up to 5. You can't do more than 5 wars. After that, they call a redo, and the yellow flag comes out, and everyone has to slow down and go around the war track a little more slowly. All right, and then we have, okay, we have this chart with presidentially like things. And then we have, oh, okay, and then we have the actual, like, console map. Oh my gosh, this feels, I feel like I'm playing like Harpoon or XCOM. Maybe this is really just PCOM. like doing a bunch of things, sending out people to do stuff. Look at that. Look at all the theaters of interest that have to be handled. The turn sequence, wow. And then, because it's just not enough, we have to have, okay, 2d6, oh, a d6 and a d10. All right, Mr. President, here's some cards. All right, NAFTA negotiation, dang. Then here's, Mr. President, some more cards. Cascading event, okay. And then, after that, we have, Mr. President, have some more cards. And then drop them, and then pick them up. Exceptional White House resource. Why, thank you. Awesome, Chief of Staff. And there you have it. And it's plenty. There is a lot going on in this box. I have a feeling it's going to be a long, long time before I can fully know and understand and appreciate and size up Mr. President. But man, I can see why it took so long. And it looks elaborate and detailed and everything you probably want in a juicy simulation of what it's like to be president. And that's it for today. That's our unboxing. It is mega. It is mighty. I'm excited to try these out. Which one should I try out first? Thanks again, and we'll see you next time on Hairbrain Games.